What's up, guys? It's Tigo from SGN, and it's the best time of the year. And I'm not talking about Christmas. I'm talking about Mortal Kombat time. And I'm here with Thomas, of course.
Yep, and here we go again.
And I just want to let you guys know real fast that two things. First of all, I'm a little bit sick, so if you hear me coughing, I do apologize. I'm not doing it on purpose to bother you. It's just it is what it is. That's one of the reasons why we've actually had to postpone recording this for a while because I haven't been feeling good at all. So it is what it is. We're here to
There's,
talk about it now. And I also want to mention that we have changed the name from the Seventh Realm to the One Realm, and I'll let Thomas explain why.
yeah, so I knew this a long time ago, but it's just right before we made it, I gave you the name of Seventh Realm, remember?
Yes?
And then I later on that day looked up on YouTube just to make sure that no one else was using it, and well, there's one YouTube channel, and I was like, motherfucker, is it more combat based? And it's like, yep, it's more combat based, but he's only made 6 videos max, and that was back in MK9. So we could still use it, but we want somebody saying, "Hey, that's my name. They can't use that." Or and also apparently there's a band here too called the Seventh. Let's just change the name, and I came up with the One Realm. I'm not really original, guys. I'm pretty cut and dry. I thought of the One Realm because, like, oh, the one beam, that might help. So, there we go. We are now the Realm.
Well, it works for me. That's Let us know in the comments what you think of the name. And anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Mortal Kombat 11. I don't know about you guys, but I've been dying to talk about this. So let's go ahead and jump right into the trailer. Thomas, what do you think about the trailer? What was your first reaction? And just in general, what are your thoughts on what we saw and how excited are you in general, I guess?
All right. Just so everyone knows, yes, this is 3 weeks out now because life sucks. Sorry, guys. Between getting sick and then just life in general, yeah, it doesn't work out the way you want it to.
Definitely not.
But
I traveled for quite a bit too. I spent basically from like November 5th until what was it, like a few days ago, pretty much constantly away from home. So that's also one of the reasons.
yeah, but my initial thought, and was I was right around so I knew that there was supposed to be something that night, but I think we talked about that day. She was like, I don't think anything's gonna happen. I hope something does, but if nothing happens, I'm just gonna be continuing with it. Well, I'm driving around my car with my cousin, and I'm bored. I'm like, you know what? Let me check YouTube real quick just so we can watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Shout out to Team Four Star, I guess. But I through my recommended on YouTube, and it says Mortal Kombat 11 official trailer. Like, this isn't real. And then I look down. It says from posted by Mortal Kombat, the YouTube page. Like, holy shit, this is real. And then I click it, and me and my cousin are just like, what the fuck? And then all thing you see that everyone's dead. It's like Armageddon. Well, MK9 again, but it's just all that happened all at once, and then I just sat in my seat, sunk down in my car. I'm like, oh shit. What the? I didn't think it was grabbing everything. I didn't want to drive anymore. I said, hey, you take the wheel. I said, no. I'm like, just take the wheel. But after I saw it and I watched that thing multiple times, I then went to go, and that was just at night alone. I finally sent it to my best friend, and he thought it was a fake trailer too. Like, even from the picture, it looked like, and I'm not gonna lie, it does look like, when you first look at that picture, it's like a fan made it. Like somebody went to really good graphic design school and made that shit.
Definitely, definitely, yeah.
And he's like, why is Chauncey sending me fake shit again? And just so you guys know, my name is also Chauncey, Thomas or Chauncey. But he's like, why are you sending me this shit? Then he reads it a little bit, just a little text on Facebook, and he just types random words, and it's like, this is not a drill. And Fire watches it, and we talk about it for hours. Like, I'm supposed to be hanging out with my cousin. I'm texting him the entire time. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do now. Like, 'cause he's in school. When it comes out, I'm like, yeah, I guess you just can't play the bullshit. I'm gonna invest every dollar I got to that game, if anything else.
Money well spent.
Oh, every time. He actually is considered buying the DLC packs, and he never buys those. It's
Same
always
here.
my job too. Mm. What about you, buddy? What do you think?
Yeah, I remember. I think I was standing in line about to board a plane coming back from Milan when you sent me the link, and I was like, I didn't know whether to believe it was real or not. It was like 5 in the morning where I was, so I turned it on. I was immediately blown away. I was blown away big time. I was like, holy fuck! I remember like the moment that I remember specifically was when Raiden kills Scorpion, and then they show the yellow boots, and I'm like, is that fucking Cyrax? Is that Cyrax? And then of course it was Scorpion, and that was the moment where I realized they finally did something with the story that I really really wanted to see. Like I immediately thought they were doing something with the timeline. I wasn't sure, of course, but it seemed like that was. So that moment really really hit me, and then of course Shao Kahn, and just in general, I really loved the trailer.
Hmm.
I watched I think twice in line before boarding the plane, and I think I watched another 2 or 3 times actually on the plane as well, trying to get every single little detail that I could. And just in general, I was honestly blown away because a lot of times these NetherRealm trailers they're good, like the MKX trailer was good, but it didn't really. It got me hyped because of course I was still buzzing off of how amazing MK9 was, but at least from a gameplay perspective, but I didn't expect MK11 to really be able to hit me like it did. And honestly, like you said, your cousin he was thinking about buying the premium edition with the DLC and all that stuff, and I actually went out and did that, which is something that I haven't done. I haven't bought a version that comes with a season pass of a game probably since before MK9 actually, before MK9. So it was on the last generation consoles. I never buy the season passes. I just never do it. But I immediately went ahead and did that and bought the MK11 one. I'm hoping, of course, that they will announce a collector's edition, which I'll probably upgrade from the premium to the collector's edition depending on how much it costs and stuff like that. But overall, the trailer it honestly it shocked me how hyped it managed to get me. Whether it was 2 Scorpions coming out there, which is like I said the timeline thing, or whether they showed the actual, let's just go ahead and call her the Dream Lady, whether they showed Raiden absolutely beating the holy fuck out of Scorpion. Just in general, like everything that they did in the trailer, I think they nailed it, and they just pretty much put out the perfect trailer. A lot of people actually talk about how bad the music is. Now, I actually don't dislike the song itself. I don't know how well it fits with Mortal Kombat. What do you think of the song?
There are certain parts. So, that fight was crazy. So, and anyone else who's seen the trailer will agree. That fight was pretty fast paced. And
Yeah,
I feel like the rap was really slow. If the rap was
definitely.
faster, I think it would have been different, from my different opinion. But I felt the rap was slow. But when the music cut and Raiden killed Scorpion, and then Scorpion comes out of nowhere again, I felt like it picked back up. Right, that's how it should have been. If it's gonna be slow, when Scorpion's walking out back out there walking slow, and then turn around and everything like okay, that works better. So I do like the song in some places.
Definitely.
Overall, I think we could have gone without it, but I didn't hate the song either. Like everyone else makes it seem like it's a do or die situation there.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not all that familiar with 21 Savage, so I don't have an opinion on him. I'm not a fan of him. I don't dislike him, so that doesn't really have an influence on my opinion here. Um, but overall, I think it was a decent song, and I did actually look up the song on YouTube to see if I can find like lyrics and stuff like that, and I found
Hmm.
a video that had it on loop like 3 or 4 times. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't know if anybody else that's listening did the same thing, but there's a part of the song that mentions Liu Kang, So I'm gonna go out on a
Oh yeah.
limb and I'm gonna shock everybody and say that it actually says Liu Kang. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and shock everybody and say that Liu Kang is gonna be an 11. Now you might be saying that that's just far fetched, right? There's no way he's gonna be in it, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it. So if he's in the game, you heard it here first.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure not the first person to realize that because I heard Liu Kang's name when I first heard the trailer. So
Okay, well that was lucky for you, I guess. I didn't have headphones on me at the time, so I couldn't actually hear the music
neither
that
did I,
well.
buddy. Neither did
Yeah. Oh well, I guess lucky you then. I didn't notice.
I.
I was too enveloped in the beatdown
You're
that
not a
Raiden
true
was
fan.
inflicting. Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. My apologies to 21 Savage and NetherRealm Studios. I guess we should just cancel the podcast and never record again because I'm not worthy.
Hmm. You gotta do what you gotta do.
It is what it
You
is.
do, I don't.
Yeah, you can keep on going.
No, the thing that got me, I guess, the most hype, was like piqued my attention was the thing. A lot of people was the Scorpion thing. It kind of was, but what really got me was um, 'cause everyone thought that like everyone knew that that was a dream lady and that was a hourglass going upwards. I didn't even think of that at all. You know what I saw when I saw that first time?
What?
I said, why did they give Sub Zero a ponytail again? That shit's stupid. Because I saw the glass, I thought ice. Like, okay. And then I told this my brother, I told my best friend about it. I'm like, hey, but I can wait to. I said, why did they give Sub Zero a ponytail again? I said, that's not Sub Zero, that's a girl. I'm like, no, it's not.
He thought that was Sub Zero for real?
Yeah, I legitimately thought that was Sub Zero because I thought the glass, air glass, was ice.
Huh. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't have that. That didn't come up to me at all.
yeah. I'm not very bright when it comes to common sense sometimes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
No, I did send it to my mom though. I sent it to my whole family. I was like, "Hey guys, this is what I want for Christmas." This is like past midnight now. And my mom texts back like, "That's badass," but it doesn't come out until April. I'm like, pre-order is always a thing.
definitely.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that you just more. I think we mentioned this in the past, and if not, I'm pretty sure it's obvious by now. But Mortal Kombat hits the airways. I drop everything, and I just that's all my energy goes to. It's preparing for that. Now, granted, there has been times where things have been all hype and the game is subpar, but I'm pretty sure they've learned that themselves, and are evolving from that, hopefully.
Well, one thing you can't take away from NetherRealm Studios is that they do seem to learn from their mistakes. Like you see from, MKX and Justice 2, they really, added a lot of color to the game. They added a lot of things that people were complaining about. And of course, they're two different series technically, but a lot of things that they implement into the Injustice series, they implement into the MK series, and vice versa. So I'm expecting them, and based on the screenshots we've also seen on Steam, I am expecting them to have learned from a lot of the criticism they got, and I'm expecting a much better game than
Hmm.
MKX. I don't know about the gameplay perspective because, as we've mentioned before, I'm not very good at the game, so I don't really talk a lot about the gameplay side of things, the balancing. I'm just not an expert in it. But what I do know is a fun Mortal Kombat game, and I'm expecting a much more enjoyable game than MKX. So at the very least, I do believe that they did learn a lot from the mistakes of the past, and I expect them to definitely continue to improve. And we'll see also with going to talk about the gear system a little bit later on. I do expect them to also improve on that. But do you have any other final thoughts or any other interesting things you want to talk about in the trailer?
Hmm. Just that Shao Kahn just the fact that we know we're getting a beta. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, and all you have to do is pre-order. I just, you're right. They're learning from their mistakes because there was a time where we're asking until months prior we're getting a beta and we don't find out answers until that marked like, no, we're not getting a beta. Like, probably should have led with that, maybe. Just saying. And there's no more beta codes
That's a
because
good thing.
we had that same issue with MKX where they changed the format of the online systems and sent out beta codes. And same thing with Injustice 2, where I think Bruss said it was him who had to that somebody was nice enough to give him theirs. Now I don't know about you, and I do like Bruss. I love Bruss, but I can say that I'll give him my only code so he can play Injustice 2, and I cannot at the time.
I would also not give him my code. I do like
Yeah,
Rusk, but I would never give him my code.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like Bruss, hmm?
I'm also very excited about the whole Shao Kahn thing. But go ahead and finish what you're saying, and I have something else to bring up about Shao Kahn.
Yeah. I was saying like Bruss. I've been watching Bruss since MKX Hype Day, so I have nothing but respect for him, but at least now we all get our own codes. That's all I can say. We all get one if we pre-order. And people say like, "Why am I gonna pre-order a game if I don't know how it's gonna play?" Like, well, you don't have to. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's more than half the world that actually like Mortal Kombat on pre-order. And if they don't, well, you miss Shao Kahn and you pay for him now. So
Yeah, no doubt
all
about
power
it.
to you.
No doubt about it. Like I said, I already pre-ordered. I may, if there's an opportunity to, if the collector's edition also is like around 120, $130, which I doubt, probably even more, and it also comes with the, with the combat pass and all that stuff, then I'll probably upgrade to that. It just kind of depends on how much it costs. But either way, I already pre-ordered. I'm gonna keep that, and I look forward to hopefully, if everything aligns correctly, maybe me and you we can play together and stuff like that, and we can give some of the listeners our opinions early about what we think of the game, what needs to be improved, what we think they definitely improved from MKX, and hopefully we can start getting some content out really early for Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
11.
I mean, this game has actually made me want to start streaming now. Now, if I really do or not, I don't know, but it's something I might think about doing. We'll see how everything pans out. Granted, I'm not very fun to watch to play right now, but hopefully I can get better and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I would definitely watch. Um, I would also love to stream. However, with my 6 megabyte per second download and like 0.30, I think, upload speed, I seriously doubt I'll be able to come anywhere near streaming. So I'll just go ahead and leave that to you.
Yeah. No, no pressure there now.
Definitely not. It's not my fault. Nothing I can do about it.
Just
It's where I live.
just the fact that if I can't do it, then we won't become a streaming channel. So no pressure.
All in due time. All in due time. We still have plenty of stuff to talk
Yeah.
about on podcasts, so there's
Oh
no
yeah.
rush for any of that stuff. There's plenty of other people doing streams. Let's go ahead and let them do their thing, and we'll do us.
Yes. That's probably the best advice you may ever given.
Yes. And when it comes to Shao Kahn, I want to ask you something real fast. Well, actually, two
Hmm.
things. Number one, what do you think of his look? Between the weird looking helmet, the apparently like what looks like maybe a dragon type of arm, and what do you think of the idea of playing a Shao Kahn? Because Goro was interesting on MKX, but Shao Kahn is a completely different level of power. So, what do you think of him being on the actual usable roster?
I don't know how I feel about it because I know I told you before that I love Shao Kahn as the big boss because he's so impossible to beat. So unless they plan on making him tournament banned, um, I'm not sure how you really just put Shao Kahn as a playable character and still give him that feel of fuck, I can't beat this guy. And then I feel it kind of degrades him in my eyes a little. That's just me, but it's me. It's my opinion. So that
Yeah, I'll add something to that real fast. They did a similar thing with Darkseid in Injustice 2. I mean, for
mhm,
those who aren't familiar, Darkseid is one of the most powerful characters in the entire DC universe. He's essentially unbeatable, and they made him a playable character on the main roster, and he was also tournament legal. So I guess they're probably gonna do a similar thing with Shao Kahn, because if they can make Darkseid playable and all that stuff, and not have to have too much pushback, then I guess Shao Kahn is gonna be a similar thing. Because I would say they're like Shao Kahn is to MK what Darkseid kind of is to the DC universe, even though Darkseid's probably even more powerful, because the entire Justice League has a hard time beating him, let alone Liu Kang, for example. But I don't know. I kind of agree with you that it kind of degrades him in the sense that he seems less powerful, but
Hmm.
also at the same time he was beaten by a character that's already on the main roster twice. So it kind of makes sense for him to be there. I don't necessarily agree with him like being in story mode and getting beat up by randoms like maybe Kung Lao and stuff like that. But as long as he's on the main roster and he doesn't get beat up by people in the story mode, then I'm not too mad about it. And I just hope that they kind of have him playing in a style where he's fun to play and he's not just this big brooding character who has, essentially one hit that does one hit moves that do a ton of damage. I want him to be fun to play like the other characters, and maybe have him do more damage per hit and shorter combos, but have him feel like a regular character in a weird way, and not have him just be this giant guy. I don't know if I'm getting my point across, but I want him to be more than just this giant guy who has a lot of power in one hit, essentially.
Mm. I think if he's playable, that's what I want as well. But if we were going back to him King, I think the only way you can explain that is by doing the variations and then stripping some of his power so he's not OP. The only way you can really explain, have a legit reason why he's not as strong. But if we're being realistic, it's just I'm gonna play regardless. But we'll see how shit hits the fan.
Definitely. I'm not gonna. As soon as I saw Shao Kahn, I immediately was like, okay, I'm gonna pre-order. I don't give a damn. Like Goro is cool and all, but Shao Kahn is Shao motherfucking Kahn. So as soon as I saw him, I immediately knew I'm just gonna pre-order. And I actually want to say one thing real fast. I don't know if this
Hmm.
is an issue that other people had, but I pre-ordered MKX and I had Goro from the start, but then I lost Goro. I couldn't use it. I've never been able to use him after like 2 months into the game. For some reason, something happened to my storage to my data, and I had to like delete my save data and redo it, and I lost Goro. So that kind of pissed me off. I've never been able to use him, so I never wanted to actually buy him again because I already had him. So I hope that's not a glitch that happens in MKX and MK11 too. Excuse me, but regardless, Shao Kahn, I'm very, very excited. And another thing I want to talk about the trailer is the arena that we saw. What do you think of the new
Mm.
look of the courtyard?
Okay, I did see. I think we did see pictures of it again on Steam, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on Steam.
Yeah. So it is like the cage. So yeah, I liked it. I thought it was gonna be one of those things like, oh, here's that. But I also want to see is two versions of each of those as well. So you know how we got like two versions of the Dead Wood, two versions of the Destroy City and AKX.
Yes.
I want the same thing, like one restored version of it and then one destroyed version of it.
Was it Deadly Alliance that had one of the arena where like actually mid
Deception.
match
That's,
deception, right? Where it would flop
yeah.
from the island
Ying
being.
Ying Iron.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember that one. That was my favorite place to play that.
That was a really, really cool one. They've never done anything like that since, have they? There wasn't in Armageddon.
Mm-mm.
So that would be kind of interesting, but flopping back in time and stuff like that, maybe they could do something like that. Um,
Mm.
I don't know if that would be I mean, if they're going to want to do that, but there's plenty of options with Shang Tsung's courtyard, and also, what do you think of what looks like Shao Kahn's cave and when he walks out and sits on the throne?
Eh, there wasn't much to see, so I can't really say
Yeah,
much.
yeah. It seems like a lot of people are excited about it, but I mean, it's cool for nostalgia, like he's sitting in his throne in the cave, but we haven't really seen much about it. We don't know if it's going to be an arena, and
Exactly.
there's just not much to go on it. So I would like to see it come back, but am I too excited about that? Not necessarily. I'm a lot more excited about seeing the courtyard. And one last thing that I have to mention, and of course you can say whatever you want about it, is what do you think about the colors that we've seen on the Steam screenshots? Do you think it looks a lot better than MKX, or what are your thoughts on it?
I think it does look better than MKX a lot. It does overall. New gaming engine will do that to you, but we can just hope for the best. All I can say.
Definitely. I'm very excited. I'm feeling kind of which is strange considering it's NetherRealm. I am confident that they're going to do a good job with this one. So yeah, what do you say? Let's go ahead and
Yeah,
jump into the gear system and custom moves. All the news that are coming out about that.
yeah. So there's been a lot of news about stuff like that, left and right. I feel like every day someone else is posting a video about this thing or that thing. I'm just like, I want to hear from the horses now first before I really take any of this into effect now. But
Definitely.
it was officially as of yesterday that because we have that Italian GameStop, which you can tell me if that was true or not. I don't know anymore.
I went on GameStop like literally the day after that, or well, I guess technically the whole news thing broke out like at night here, like late at night here. So by the time I woke up, I went on the website and there was nothing there. I kept on asking on the NetherRealm on the Nethercast Discord. Shout out to them. I kept on asking them to find me a screenshot or something like that, but they kept on ignoring me. So I never got to see where they revealed a bunch of stuff. I'm assuming it's true because a lot of the things that were on there, like the whole 6 characters on the Combat Pass thing and skins and a lot of that stuff came true. But I never saw it myself, so I honestly couldn't tell you exactly what the translation said.
Hmm. Well, that's the thing too. Like I think you never saw the original screenshot. You only saw the translation.
Exactly.
But
And for those who don't know, I live in Italy. I've lived here for 13 years, so if there's anybody who could translate it perfectly for you, it would be me. So I was desperately trying to get people to send it to me, but they just wouldn't. So I don't know what to say there.
hmm. That's what
But
made me feel like it was full of shit too. But it's
yeah,
like, I mean, like I said, a bunch of it came true, so maybe they weren't. But it'd been better to at least have that screenshot.
definitely.
Like, legit.
But in general, what do
Hmm.
you think of the idea of the gear system coming back, and what do you like? What would you change from Injustice 2? Because there are a lot of things that bothered me, but what would you change, and what would you hope that they would remove or add to make it a bit more fun to use and a bit easier to deal with? Because like the whole loot box system was kind of, I think everybody agrees that was kind of garbage. But what do you think they
Yeah.
could do to improve it? Really,
I want to start answering this question with another question. Have you ever seen The Incredibles before?
the first one, yes. The second one, no.
Okay, well, there's an iconic scene that a lot of people know called No Case. So, then bear with me. The way you fix the gear system is no stats. No motherfucking stats. And we have a great gear system right there.
I agree.
Like, give us, what, just give us pieces of gear and costumes, and be stuff that we actually seen before. Not don't give us no original stuff, I guess. Original, but not too original. Give us. We all want MK1 costume, MK2, 3, 4, Deception, etc., etc. But there's some like I'm not gonna say I was a huge fan of super DC superheroes, but I'm not gonna say that I was looking forward to seeing stuff in the Arrowverse on Injustice 2, but there was nothing there like that at all. So like all my favorite characters, it's just oh, make the best that I can do with this. And I actually have to go into a gear system, a game like that. Like, all right, this works for me. It doesn't, but it works for me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely do. Definitely do.
And what makes it worse too is like you put stats on everything. Like this gives you this now. Like and I'm not saying take away the gear moves. That was great, but no loot boxes, no stats.
No leveling up, please.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that idea was. Who thought that was a good idea?
It's a fighting game, not an RPG.
Well, here's the thing too with that. Um, so you can yes you can do tournament play on Injustice 2, but we were like doing local fights. But who really goes to do that? I should be able to just go to versus and fight, pick up a character and fight. I shouldn't have to tell my people, my relatives, like, hey, when you pick a character, make sure you hit X first, because I have an Xbox, so it's X. Um, and go over one or two loadouts so you can get a character without any gear, so it's a fair fight.
What a fucking stupid idea that was, I swear, man.
I literally have to do that every time. And then the only way that it'd be a decent fight if there's someone's playing the game constantly and they have their own gear. But here's another issue too: the loot box system by itself. Um, all right, so my best friend, he loved Nightwing in the first game, and his biggest thing when he saw that he could use the staff of Grayson, he was like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to get that." And he got all the gear for the costume and everything for that from the story mode. All he needed was the staff. So months goes by, and I think it's July or August. Can't remember when. And I haven't opened up my gear boxes in a long, other boxes in a long time. I'm at his house opening them all, and he watches me get the staff of Grayson.
I feel so
And
bad
make
for him. The
it
dick
gets
stick.
worse too. I don't even play with Nightwing or Robin at that point, I guess.
Yeah.
So like, I literally just got a piece of gear that I'm not gonna use. Only reason I would use it just to make fun of him, but he didn't get it.
Poor guy. And that's
Now he
not a
deserved it.
single thing. Like even the guys on the other cast, they talk about it. Like the dick stick. It's famous because everybody wanted it. Nobody got it except for the people that didn't
I
want it.
got it.
Yeah, you got it. But nobody else that actually wanted it got it. It's
Yeah,
fucked up.
it's unfortunate, but shit happens.
It does, especially when it's all random.
Yeah,
So hopefully
and
they'll
that's
make it like in the crypt or something.
another thing too. I realized the stuff I did want, I got it. The gear pieces, like the gear moves I wanted, I got it. So I never had that issue because I wanted the Black Canary um, sound grenade. I got that. Didn't use it much, but I got it just in case. Um, just in general, like I didn't have to work that hard for the stuff, and that's the thing too. Like the thing people you will grind for hours on and try to get the stuff for, you don't get it. You barely use. You get all this cool stuff. Like I'm not gonna use it, so I think it's one of the things you do need to just like hide in the crypt, and I don't know. Maybe you search the whole crypt and you get a piece of not gear, but gear move for every character if you beat the whole thing. That's a good reward for actually going to the whole crypt.
Yeah, definitely. Make it worthwhile. Make it give you something that you want. Unlike,
But also make it easy to navigate though too.
definitely make it
'Cause that's
easier.
the,
Yeah, have something badass like the
a
MKX
map.
script, but make it a bit easier to deal with.
Give us a map.
Yes, definitely necessary.
I should have to go in this place And like, all right, so I went here, I went here, I think I went over there. I'm not sure. Walking through every little crevice, and like, yeah, I still beat my crit because of that.
Me neither. Me neither. Not even close.
Mm.
Yeah, that sucked. But one other thing, like when it comes to the gear system, one thing I would really hope that they do is they don't limit you to having one single slot. For example, like you mentioned, maybe you want MK1 Scorpion, maybe you want MK Deception Scorpion, maybe you want I don't know MKX Scorpion, just to make three different examples. I really hope that they don't have it set up to where you only have one slot. So let's just say I have MK1 Scorpion all built up. All of a sudden, I'm kind of sick of playing as MK1 Scorpion. And next thing I have to go into develop MK Deadly Alliance Scorpion. I hope that they have different, like three different slots to where you can have three slots where you can customize the character whichever way you want, and then based on each match you can pick. I want to use that color Scorpion. I want to use that type of stuff. I hope that they give you at least the option to have multiple slots to where you don't have to just constantly be modifying them before every match and before every online time and all that
I'm
stuff.
pretty sure they will.
I think so
But I
too.
think gear should just be aesthetic. I don't think it's to affect gameplay at all.
Definitely.
So on that note, I think you should be able to, as a max, I think you should have the gear be able to choose them at the screen. Like here's your list of stuff.
Yeah, like have it
But
listed as the costumes. You know what I mean? Like you can pick the tournament costume, you can pick whatever regular version, all that stuff. But also have your own customized slots there. Like you have I don't know vanilla Scorpion, you have tournament Scorpion, then you have custom Scorpion, custom two Scorpion. Do something like that.
yeah, I just think the issue is that I've been you given we given the other round an inch before, and they took more than a mile. They walked across the whole fucking country, came back.
In what sense?
Yeah, so it's like all in the sense of you put a lot of faith in them sometimes, and I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes or anything, but I'm just like you give them a lot of hopes in, like, all right, they can't fuck me up, or they wouldn't do that. Like, how familiar with the Flash, the TV show?
I've never seen The Flash, the TV show.
Okay. Um. Well, his whole stick is that he's always fucking up timelines. Like he's always going back in time and fucking something else up. There's memes out here about like he looks at him just glances off in the future. He glances off and like, hey, that's a nice timeline. Be ashamed if somebody fucked it up. But that's like the equivalent of what happens though with MK sometimes. It's like, oh, that's a great concept of a story. Be ashamed if somebody just erased the whole thing and put this shit instead and have Cassie win at the end. Or that's a nice concept with gear. Be ashamed if they can't use it during tournament play at all. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I definitely do.
So I think I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, yeah, they got it, but 3 games ago they had that opportunity to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, one game that's not bad, and then we have another game where like Injustice One. I feel like Injustice One gets lost in the shuffle so many times. I really do sometimes, but you still got MKX. Like, all right, well, this is gonna be a great game, which it was. It was a good game, but it had its very noticeable flaws. So much that the other cast rips it to shred, Game Sense rips it to shred, the fourth Snake rips it to shreds. Like there might be an issue somewhere around here. Not sure, just maybe. And then you have Injustice 2. Story, great. Gameplay, very boring. And gear was a total fail. As
Basically, the
much as
only
I,
saving grace about Injustice 2 was the roster. Like it did have a very
yeah,
very good roster, but yeah, everything else about it except for the story was, pretty boring.
yeah. So it's like one of those things. Like I said, I'm going to play. I'm going to buy the game regardless. I'm going to play the game regardless. But I am. This is probably the most skeptical I've been into a MK game ever. And I blindly went into MK versus DC. So
Oof, that was a mistake.
that's the thing too. Like I didn't know much about DC. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here, but I'm going to play it just because.
Well, I mean, for what it is, it isn't. It isn't. Like, I think it gets
Terrible.
a lot more hate than it really deserves. Like, I know the game is awful for a Mortal Kombat game, but for what it is, them kind of needing to find a way to make money and keep the Mortal Kombat series alive, and
It
mixing
did
it
its
with
part.
DC, making it T for teen. For what it is, it's not that bad a game. It is
Oh
shit
yeah.
for Mortal Kombat standards, but not that bad a game in general. Don't hate on me for that. Please don't hate on me.
Oh, I'm,
Not you. I mean
not
in
me.
general.
It's the rest of everyone else.
Yeah, that's gonna torture me for that. So I might have to edit that out.
Man, you lived a well life, buddy. That's all I can
Yeah,
say.
it was it was a good one.
Nice while it lasted.
Yeah. And one last thing, like just to kind of give an idea of how broken I think the Injustice 2 gear system was, and the whole loot box system and all that stuff, and the leveling up. It really, like, almost immediately it got to the point where I would have the computer fight for me more than I would actually fight myself. Like, I don't know if you remember, they had the whole system where you could have the game play for you, and you could level up and all that stuff. You can complete towers and all that. And I would do that a lot more than I would actually play the game.
I know you're not the only one. Trust me. There's plenty of people who've admitted to that. Super. Um, but it was one of those things. It benefited certain people. I'm not gonna lie, because on one hand, it's a great It's great. Like, yeah, I can have someone have the game fight for me. But at the same time, it's like when you can't do that on the Xbox as well. So PlayStation, what they have is they'll hit A for you. They have number three button for you, I guess. So in that case, the X. Xbox, you have to sit there and play A each after each match. So it wasn't like even having to. I can't walk away and let them fight for me. I have to like be there and fight the game still. Not fight, but at least be around the game still, get my stuff, so I can still work for it. But the game was that boring that you would have the computer fight for you. I believe that.
Yeah, essentially. Like, the only reason I even did that was because I wanted to have, like, Batman at level 20. I wanted Scarecrow level 20. I wanted Darkseid level 20. And essentially that was it. I think there was maybe one or two other characters that I tried to get to level 20, but at that point I was pretty much just sick of the game. Um, it's very
There's only
unfortunate.
a,
It's very
there's only a
unfortunate.
hand. You go ahead and finish.
No, no, I was just saying it's very unfortunate the game was that boring.
My thing was that there was only a handful of people actually did the work for. Not all of it, but at least the majority of it for. But that'd be Harley Quinn, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Sub Zero, Superman, and that's pretty much it. Everyone else, I let the computer fight for me and do it. And
Mm.
what really screwed everyone up was when they raised the bar from 20 to 30. I'm like, nope, I don't care no more.
Nope, I was already
I,
done with that.
I was done too, but I was like, I'm not gonna invest my time in this one.
Definitely not. It was done and
I
dusted
think
for me.
I think after the I found out who were the Fire Factory DLC characters, I just didn't care anymore.
Who all was in that pack? It was Adam. Um,
Okay, so I want to think about this first. I'm gonna read off in order like people that came out.
yeah,
You have Dark Side. Okay, that's a good one, right?
he was the
He's
he
strong.
was the pre-order character, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then you have Red Hood, someone everyone been asking for
yeah,
since they finished voting for him to die.
a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Um, Sub Zero,
A good one.
great one. Starfire, everyone who loves Teen Titans, like, hey, we need Starfire. Okay, great, right?
Definitely
Black Manta.
a good one as well. Very good.
I didn't care as much, but yeah. The only problem I had with Raiden was that was their excuse for their 25th year anniversary
Yeah.
gift to us.
Fuck you.
I would have just taken Raiden if you did not say that. I'm like, you're giving me a character that I don't even care for? Okay. Okay, NetherRealm. Fuck you.
Yeah, big fuck you to them there. Like I love them, but that was just like really
Dirty.
the 25th anniversary of
Raiden.
yeah.
Raiden.
You couldn't even release, I don't know, like some kind of HD collection or something like that. Just something easy as fuck to do. Just fix the arcade collection from the Xbox 360 and PS3. You couldn't even do that. But that's a video for a
Hell,
different
I
day.
thought, yeah, that's a different reason to complain. But, yeah, Raiden. And he also gets to be Black Lightning, so
Yeah, that was cool.
everyone can get everyone can get their chains out of a bunch right there. And then end it with Hellboy, who I know absolutely nothing about. So
Yeah, I only saw the movie, the original Hellboy movie. That was pretty
didn't
much
even
all
see
I'd ever
that.
seen. Yeah, which was
Never
good
even
and
seen
all,
that.
but I couldn't care less to
And
be honest.
then you have the Adam who isn't even Ray Palmer. So he's not even the original Adam, who is alive by the way in this timeline. So I don't know why he wasn't in there.
Yeah,
Then you have um, Enchantress, which after Suicide Squad failed the way it did, do you really want to be compared with that now?
nope. Fuck that.
And then you have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. No, thank you. I mean, like, listen, I get it that they're very popular. A lot of people was happy to play as them, but like, really, uh,
And I
yeah,
to be honest, that trailer I think pissed me off more than anything because I was given so much hope because well, I wasn't given hope, but I had the idea even when the game first I heard premiere skin, I was like, okay, you take and you're always gonna hear this from me too. Because you know I love Katana, Melina, and Jade. That is just those are Thomas's angels right there. Okay? So you put one in the game and then you have the you switch into the other three. The other two. And then when and you say how they did it, the trailer thing, they ended with Raphael throwing a sigh at the ground like, oh, that's Melina. Like, wait, there's no MK symbol on it, so fuck, this is not her. And then you see them come out of a trench coat. Like, I'm done. I played with them for about a day, and like, nope, I'm done. I'm completely done. I even gave. Here's how bad. Here's the thing. I bought more Kombat X 3 times by accident. Don't judge me. I just did.
Jesus.
But I sold the other two copies that were on hard disk and have just the digital copy now. Injustice 2, a game that I spent $100 for, I gave it away to my cousins.
Oh,
I just gave it to them.
that sucks.
And there's some days I'm like, you know what, I want to play, just have something to play. But it's like, if I had it in my room right now, I wouldn't play it. So, That's just the reality of that game.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Injustice 2 was fun for about 2 weeks, and then it just kind of went down the toilet for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Shitty game.
Yeah, like moving on, the whole custom moves. How would you like to see them in MK11? Excuse me.
When you ask like how you, I think you're only been exposed to really this twice. We've been exposed to it in the gear system, which failed, and we've been exposed to it in the create your own character, which minus the fatalities was decent, really well done well. So maybe like that.
Yeah, my whole thing about that is it just kind of depends. Like, if we're trying to be true to the lore, then Raiden shouldn't have Scorpion Spear. Scorpion shouldn't have Sub Zero's Ice Ball. So, like,
Not like that, I
yeah.
mean, but like
Oh,
going
okay.
through and just pick the gear, pick the pieces out.
Okay,
Like
okay.
I said, just have no stats on it, and it works out
Mm-hmm.
great.
Yeah, like if I could choose, like if they could do it this way, to where they have every single special move, or at least for the most part, all the special moves of say Scorpion, and you can select 4 or 5 of them, that'd be fine for me. I'm just wondering, you know, how exactly they're gonna do it because we don't know anything about it yet. So, is it gonna be like in Injustice 2, which I really hope it's not? Is it gonna be stuff you have to unlock, which I guess I wouldn't be completely opposed to if it's depending on how much time you have to put into unlocking them and whether it's gonna be locked behind a fucking loot system.
Okay,
Um,
so here's my game plan, I guess, to get in. How you put the pieces on? I don't really care. Some people like they want to pick it out right there before the match. I don't care about that. Some people want to have a menu. I'm okay with that. I want like this, and this is the only way it works for me. First of all, you don't hold back the coins this game. Do not do that. But you can just have it open in the crypt. And instead of just going through and picking brutalities and fatalities, you can get moves. I know everyone will say like, well then you're forcing everyone to pay for them. No, you're not. If you want to spend an extra $30 to unlock all the crypt items, then that is your money. You do what you want. The reason why I don't do that is because I'm pretty sure I can do it myself if I put the time into it and I want to. So just put all the moves inside there. Well, not all of them even. Just put. You have some moves. You have half the moves in the character screen, in the custom screen. Okay. Then you unlock half of those, half the rest through the crypt. Then you do the other half of the rest through making certain feats. I guess you want to. And then, but at the end of the day, they're all open to tournament play as well. Now, yes, you need to know what your opponent has, but at the end of the day, if you can't, I don't customize stuff that often because I'm very lazy. So I make the best of what I got, and I still win that way. So
yeah, I feel you there with the laziness. I also tend to just do one thing, stick with that until essentially it gets to the point where, all right, listen, if I don't upgrade, then I'm kind of screwed here.
mm,
And that's just kind of how it is. That's why I'm trying to say, like, I really hope that they give you, 3 or 4 different, maybe not even four, just like 2 or 3 slots to where you can customize your character in different ways for each slot, and not have to deal with constantly changing things and stuff like that, and kind of just have them there and then upgrade as you go. But I definitely like what you mean. Unlock stuff in the crypt, unlock stuff by doing things actually in game, not have it randomly generated, not having loot boxes, but if you want to, you can go online. You can say, okay, listen, Sub-Zero's ice puddle is, I don't know, is in this, in the crypt, in this grave. You can go there, you can unlock it if you want to, or you can do what I would probably do, which is try to do things on my own, no spoilers, no help, unlock things. But as long as you are rewarded with these special moves by playing the game and not by randomly getting them in a loot box, which means, let's just say you open a loot box, I open one, you get level 3 Sub-Zero Ice Puddle, and I get like level 1, I don't know, Kano, uh, whatever, his little front flip ball thing,
Knife
cannonball.
throw.
Yeah, just something random like that. Like, it needs to be
Balance.
on the same playing field for everybody. It can't be random and it can't be leveled. I really, really hope, like you said, it doesn't involve stats, because that's when things get really, really. I'm not going to say unbalanced, because as I've said plenty of times, I don't really worry too much about the balancing because I'm not good at the game. I don't play competitively. All I care about is the game being fun. All I care about is the entertainment part of the game, the story and the gameplay, not the balancing. So stats, they bother me in the sense that it's frustrating to see certain things being unlocked with better stats when you have no way of deciding what exactly you're doing. Like, if it's, you can get a legendary piece of, a legendary piece of armor that boosts you in a big way, or you can
Hmm.
sometimes also get a level 1 thing that doesn't really affect you at all, just a common. I don't want it to be stuff like that. I want it to be in the crypt or unlocked, like maybe a special event in the towers, and you can unlock this, you can unlock that. But the important thing is that everybody's on the same playing field. Everybody can unlock the same things in the same spot, and that it's all the same for everybody. And then each
Yeah.
person, based on what they unlock, they can make the character they want. Not random, but based on what you want, and what you get is the same for everybody.
Now, one thing I wouldn't be okay, I wouldn't care about if they wanted to bring the. No, I don't want to. Because they say the more you play with one character, you will get more gear for that character. That was not always true, if I'm gonna be honest.
It was not true. It absolutely wasn't. I would play the most part as Batman, and I would get stuff for Cheetah. Who the fuck cares about Cheetah? Like,
But
honestly.
that's my thing. But that's my thing too. So if you want to go that route, if you take that route with it, then have stuff like that, like gear pieces to make yourself look more different, make you look different. That's like, man, we covered how we can fix the moves thing already. Same thing with the pieces of gear when they release it, because Injustice 2, and I know they did it because if you put anyone can grab a second remote and put verses on and fight for hours and get all the gear pieces, get all the pieces they want. But let's take that piece, let's take that away, and then because that's why they didn't allow that. So let's just drop the pieces of gear to make sure armor looks cooler after every fight. Not every other fight, not every 3.5 fights. Every fight you get a piece of gear, and it's for the character you're playing as. Because Injustice had so much going on that I didn't even beat the towers with every character. Mortal Kombat, I'm at least driven to do that. And also, almost every other day, I felt like, well, or at this point, that the towers were not working for me to get on so I can do it. Like, I'm only here so I can beat the towers, and I can't even get on that to do it.
Yeah, because a lot of times, they were level based and all that stuff.
No, not even that. Just the regular
Just the
battle
regular
simulator. I
towers.
couldn't use that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do that. I said, "Oh, we're having trouble today." I'm like,
Okay.
"Well, this sucks." Or sometimes I'll be almost done with it, and it's like, I don't know, something just randomly happened, and I can't keeps me off all things. I have to start over. And that might be a Wi-Fi thing. I don't know yet, but
I mean, it
I'm
could
often
be.
injustice and never nothing else.
Yeah, I didn't have that issue, and I have pretty bad internet, so it may have just been, I don't know, server issues over there, because of course, they have different servers for the US, different servers for Europe, so it was on different servers. So it may have been an issue over there and not really one over here. Who knows? But
mean, I get the stick and everyone gets perfect gameplay.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. Anyway, for custom moves, I mean, like I see a lot of people opposed to it, and I see a lot of people in favor of it. I mean, right as of right now, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of in the middle because, like I said, I don't care about it being perfectly balanced for tournament play. I don't care about it being perfectly balanced for this or that. All I care about is that it's fun and that it's not completely frustrating to unlock the moves that you want. So right now, I'm interested in it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm gonna wait for to actually judge it when I can actually get my hands on it and actually see and feel what they do with the system. Because as of right now, we really don't know a whole lot.
Yeah, I just I'm gonna take the game as it comes in, and I'm gonna play it. I'm not gonna get my like, I'm gonna get super. I'm gonna get hype at each trailer. And I told myself at the last time, like, I'm not gonna watch any trailers. I'm not gonna watch any leaks. Well, now since we do this podcast, we don't have much of a choice now. So it's like, okay, well, these better be great. Otherwise, I'm going to Chicago, and I'm not watching out probably at all.
So, do you have any last things you want to say about the gear system slash custom moves? Or you want to move on to the premium edition?
Mm, I, like I said, as long as there's no stats, no leveling up, I think everything can go well. Oh, and if it and have us make presets. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. Yeah, definitely have presets to where if you want classic, classic Scorpion, if you
Yeah.
want classic MK3, it's all there.
Yeah. And that's the thing. At least make it all available too. So if people want, I said, people want to spend their $30 on the crypt items, they can. That way, all the stuff is totally legal. We didn't say you had to buy it. You chose to. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
So,
all I got.
yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the premium edition. Now, do you have everything, like all the details for what's in it?
Actually, I'm going to our Instagram page. We're going to go to our Instagram page right now and
Yeah,
see what it said. Okay.
because, yeah, go ahead and.
So I'm not going to read all the extra words for it because, well, like I said, this is 3 weeks after the initial trailer, so you guys should know what that leak was already if you don't know. If not, we'll just leave a link in the description. But um, Mortal Kombat 11 Premium Edition includes the main game, so shocker there, you get the game with the Premium Edition. Combat Pack, which includes 6 DLC characters, 1 week early access to DLC characters, 7 skins, and 7 sets of gear. And what was it? Well, that's everything it says right there for it. But when I read that 1 week early access, I just read that part. Oh, we get the game a week early. Oh no, that's for the DLC characters. So I mean, I
Which,
guess
which is actually kind of cool. I like that. I like that a lot. The fact
I
that if you
mean we did
pre-ordered it,
last.
you did too. I don't remember that.
You got it with Injustice, and you got it with
Uh,
MKX at least.
okay.
I'm not sure about MK9 because I didn't buy the DLC
Okay.
until 6, 8 months later. So I don't know.
Huh? Yeah, I didn't buy the combat passes in or the Injustice passes from KX or
Yeah.
Injustice 2. I did
You
an
get them a week
MK9.
early, but you also get to play them in the tower that 1 week.
Okay. Okay.
That week they came in the tower was the same week you got them. Like let's say I bought the whole premium. I bought the whole premium edition. Okay,
Okay.
and you didn't. That week where it became playable in the tower, you will play as that, while I would not only play as that, but also do my actual tower, the story mode, not story mode, the ladder with it as well.
Okay. Okay.
So they've always done that.
Huh,
So
I
it's
did not know
nothing
that.
new. It's just yeah, it's nothing new. It's just tell you what's in it this year.
Okay.
And
All right.
the only thing that threw me for a loop was the 7 skins and 7 sets of gear.
Yeah, that was interesting. Like,
We have
what does
six
that
new DLC
mean?
characters, but we have 7 things. Oh, Shao Kahn.
Yeah,
I think that
I
adds up right
guess.
there.
Yeah, I guess. But what was interesting is, I guess, I liked what not that I liked. It kind of got me curious. Like, they are differencing skins and gear. So not only is it going to be, you know, gear to where you can customize your character, but it's also going to be regular skins. So I don't think it's gonna be like premium skins. What were they called in Injustice 2? Premier skins or something like that?
Yeah, premier
Yeah.
skins.
So I'm wondering if it's gonna be premier skins or they're gonna be like regular skins like we've always gotten in MK. So
Um, I don't know. Because it goes one or two ways. And so you can get the skins that we used to get in Mortal Kombat and just be for particular characters. And you can add a few gear pieces to that, but that just defeats the whole purpose in my eyes. Or it could be like Injustice, where you got premier skins, and the gear sets that we get with those skins goes with that character.
yeah.
You go with those two characters. You go with the premier skin, and it goes with the DLC character.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go and pull an example out. So from the from the leak that we're going to talk about eventually, maybe not today, but eventually, Lee May was on that list of DLC characters. Remember?
Yes.
So let's say we take Lee May. She gets a set of gear sets, pretty much. And the premier skin is Melina. Okay? So Melina is obviously going to be Katana's premier skin. And she gets gear sets as well with this whole thing. That's what I'm thinking that's going to be
Mm-hmm.
playing. But like I told you already, if they do it like that, put the premier skins inside the story mode.
Yes.
Because out of all the premier skins we got in Injustice 2, only one was featured in the story mode, and that was Reverse Flash. So you have Vixen, you have Mr. Freeze. I mean, just some of the day one guys too. Mr. Freeze, you have Reverse Flash, Green Lantern, John Stewart. I feel like I'm missing someone else right now. The Gray was in there too, so I had two DLC, two premiere skins in there total.
Yeah. So yeah,
But
I think that'd probably be pretty cool. Like if they wanted to go that route, then they can have the classic costumes kind of be like premier skins and stuff like that.
well, I think too. I think that's what the gear is for. I'm saying like let the premiere skins be different characters that need to be inside that you can put in the story mode as
Ah,
well.
that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
Because
Well.
We saw Ermac wasn't on that list, that
Yeah.
roster either. So
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
completely go the injustice route. Um.
Yeah. If they're going that way, I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's really hard to understand what they're gonna do because one thing about Ed Boon is he doesn't like to do the same thing
He
twice.
doesn't tell you nothing.
That too, but he also doesn't like to do the same thing twice, especially when it comes to
I
DLC
mean,
and
he's
stuff like
he's
that.
doing gear right now twice.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different because the gear isn't DLC, whereas the premier skins technically are probably going to be DLC that you can technically pay for. So I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit different. Whereas the gear system, I'm expecting them to be going away from loot boxes, hopefully, and it's going to be unlocked through gameplay in like in the crypt and stuff like that. So I think it's technically going to be the same thing, but it's going to be different. It's kind of like fatalities. They're there. They've always been there, and they always will be there. But they're still
They
changing
just
every.
get worse.
Yeah, they get worse, and become more trash. So hopefully the gear system will be
Hmm.
the opposite. But
Also, sorry, but there's one thing I just remembered. I remember you asked me the thing that really sold the game for me on the trailer. Um, it wasn't Raiden being the crap out. Well, it was kind of like that, but it wasn't Scorpion coming out. It wasn't the Dream Lady. It wasn't Shao Kahn. It was Raiden breaking that middle finger of Scorpion
that was,
and showing the bump.
oh yeah.
Like, just that just happened right there. Like, what the fuck? That's the thing. I've watched compilations of fatalities and brutalities from all games. That finger break was the thing that's like, no, this game is too violent. I love it still, but
Well, I think that more than anything, that was like a glimpse of kind of realism. Like, if
yeah,
somebody's really beating the fuck out of you, he's not gonna blow your head off. It's just not possible. He's gonna break as many bones as he can in your body to make you
break you
absolutely, yeah,
down,
yeah. He's gonna make it to where
kick your
you can't
chest
do
in,
anything.
break your yeah.
Yeah.
If we're having
So
a legit death match, that's what happens.
yeah. So I thought it was a nice touch, to where they added that where he just that whole that really that sequence in general, where he just beats the fuck out of Scorpion. Yeah, I like that a lot, but definitely the finger break. Like I think even the guys on the Nethercast, they mentioned like somehow throughout the entire trailer, that was the most cringy part. That was the most like part of the entire
That was looking
trailer.
realistic, like saying, like you watch the trailer, it's like, oh, that's cool. It can't really happen in real life. Like you think, like, no, that someone. And I have somebody. My brother split my growth plate when I was 12.
Oof.
Yeah, so it's like flashback right there to me. Like, no, no. Now that okay, so let me like this. If that trailer would came out then, and my brother would did that to me then you can say Mortal Kombat has a bad effect on the youth. But that was also 9 years ago, so can't really say that now.
Yeah. I don't think MK had an effect on that, to be honest with you.
No, that's just brothers being brothers.
Yep. It is what it is.
Yeah. But sorry I cut you off there. I
No
completely forget
worries.
what we were talking about.
Now you're just talking about damn, I can't even remember. I think it's skin. Something
Exactly.
about skins though. Something about skins. Anyway, moving on from the skins. What else do they? Let's see the characters. The six characters. That kind of worries me in a way
Mhm.
because how many characters was it in MKX? It was four characters per pack, right?
Yes.
And in Justice 2, it was also four, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Three.
Three.
Three per pack.
Yeah. So if they're going with six, that leads me to believe that there's going to be one or two scenarios. The one that I think is most likely is it's only going to be one pack, at least at first. They only have one per, like guaranteed, and then based on the sales, then they might do a second one. Um, but because one might technically count as two if there's six, unless they're gonna go 100% full fledged. Like let's just add as many characters we can into this game because it's gonna be the last one on this generation, and we don't know how long it's gonna be until another one comes out. It could be 4, it could be 5 years. In that case, then I definitely think it'd be awesome if they did have like two packs of six, a total of 12, or maybe even like a total of 10 or something like that. The first one has six, the second has four. But regardless, I'm excited about seeing the six characters, but I am also a bit worried about it. Maybe seeming like it's a lot more at first, but then in the long run, it actually being less than we're used to with MKX.
I'm okay with six. Just like in the past couple of seconds, I just feel that I'm okay with six.
Okay.
This is why. Let's say we there's not just a few people off because of NPCs, post syndrome, but um, let's say we get just the six. Let's say there's a big roster because if we just get the six, okay?
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. But we get the six, and that's all we get for DLC. No more characters, maybe a couple more skins, maybe an arena or two. Well, if we get an alternate story mode, or just not just like the whole, oh, you pick this person or that person, but it's still the same linear story with conclusions to other stories. Like the way that it looks like that we're not going to address some of the things that we set up. So maybe the combat kids, um, the Our Civil War. There's a lot of W's in that one. That little thing, but it's just we can, or the more combat tournament. We can get these answers if we get more stories. So maybe this is their. They do the 6 characters now, and we get more of a story later. And that's the way to make more content right there. And that's one thing I like about. I think if I had to pick anything, I like that about not Injustice, Batman, Arkham Knight, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are more. There's the story, there's the main story, and there's side missions that you can't do. You can't finish the story until you finish those side missions. And then they have we have on top of that, we have side mission DLC side missions, so you can do that too if you want. So maybe we can get DLC side story modes. That's something we've been talking about since MKX. I know that one for sure, but I mean, I don't think I like that more than more characters really. Because you think
I
about
go ahead, and I'll put
I'll
in
say
later.
like it. There goes in a. I know you might have some rebuttals against it, but there's a lot that goes into making characters alone. You got to design them all, then you have to come up with quote unquote original fighting set moves. That's not saying, oh, they borrow from this character or it's that character. And it's like, and then you have to, with all the voice acting, now you find a new voice actor or pay someone more money for voice acting this extra character. Because I learned that a couple of years, I learned that this past year that voice actors get paid per character they are. So if let's say so every name. So let's say it's Sub Zero and it's like Lin Kuei members. That's just two names, but it's Lin Kuei member 2, 3, 10, and 20. Then that's 5 different text you have to come for now for each character. So it's more expensive to do that, I think, than do story mode. Pay the people, pay everyone across the board a little bit more for their voices. But all right, go for it. I'm done.
Yeah, I was gonna say is I would be all for that. Absolutely. Like if I could choose between getting 6 characters plus an ultimate, maybe not a complete alternate like 15 chapter or 12 chapter story
More
mode or something like that. Yeah,
stories.
but having different elements, maybe I don't know, something to do with story, just like DLC to where I don't know, a 3 chapter story mode, just something to add to the story itself. I would absolutely be more excited about that than having 4 more characters or something like that. It's just
That have nothing to do with the game too.
yeah. It's just I don't know how realistic that is.
I mean, like look at Triborg, for example.
Mm-hmm.
We're still fighting to this day. Is Triborg canon?
Well, yeah,
I mean, his
yeah.
bio makes sense and believable. Like, yep, he's canon now. You can say that, but at the same time, it's like, is he really canon? We won't know until he's back in a more combat game.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I'm just saying, and like I said, I would prefer story elements over a certain amount of characters. It's just,
I mean, they
I,
could be probably working on that now,
yeah,
for all we know, because that's the beauty of that whole trailer being released when it got released. We know they're pretty much in post production now.
definitely.
Not not post production, but they're almost done now.
They're just fixing the fine details and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of that. It's like, all right, well, now we can worry about these six DLC characters, make sure they're balanced out, fix a few patches there while we're working on, while you guys are doing that. We're going to work on this for the store, for this to give them like a little present at the end of all the DLCs. And if they want it, which we will, we all know that, they can probably add that with, because they did that before with their complete editions. They give you a little extra thing to like, all right, here's all the DLC characters plus a new arena, or plus Bruce Wayne. I guess I don't know.
Mm.
That was a stupid one,
Well,
stupid all the time,
just
but still,
examples, yeah.
yeah. But like, it's still one. They really thought that would be really cool. That's cooler than an arena, or I don't know.
I mean, let me put it this way. Okay, there are two things. Like, okay, preface by saying I would definitely like to see, like in every other gaming genre out there, DLC involving story elements. Unfortunately, the fighting games, as far as I know, there hasn't been a fighting game that actually gives you more story, except for endings for characters, for DLC characters, as they move on. Whereas in pretty much every other genre, that is a thing. Of course, everybody knows that DLC season passes pretty much always come with prolonging the story. So I would love to see that happen in MK. But
Oh, that's them.
if it doesn't happen, I would want one of two things: either more arenas, because I do kind of worry about the number of arenas that were in MKX, because there was very few, and Injustice 2, if I'm not mistaken, was even lower by a long shot. So I do worry about the number of arenas because I do like them. A lot of people don't care about the arenas, but I still want to see a decent number of them. If not that, then God damn it, I forgot what I was going to say. If not arenas, then definitely. All right, go ahead. I can't remember what I was going to say. God damn it.
Okay. Well, just cut me off. 'Cause I already know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. When it comes to DLC, though, for me, I'm like, don't pick DLC that has absolutely nothing to do with the story mode. So we saw, and Ed Boon realized the fallout you'll get from stuff like this, but you put people like Sindel, Rain, Braga, and Tanya was the other one they really did. Well, they have full move sets, and out of the four, one got put in as DLC. Then you have people like Frost, Serena, Fujin, who Fujin,
Everybody wanted, by the way.
yeah, and Boraicho. Yeah, I think that's just four. I'm pretty sure there's more. Lee May was another one. Who all were put in the story, like visually wise, and they picked the least acts for character. And here's the thing too, and this is I don't agree with this marketing decision. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's all marketing." WB said that you have to do it. I'm like, no, this is why. So, Alien and Leatherface, yes, that was WB. Triboard, that might even been WB because it's like, all right, they want cybers. How can we do this? All right, do this. Okay, we're good. But you're not going to tell me that Bo Rachel outsold everybody up there. Everyone's like, oh, I gotta have that Bo Rachel, man. I can't live without Bo Rachel. They, and you know my love for Mortal Kombat now, but they would have outsold every DLC character with Fujin. I'm just going to put that out there. Everyone was begging for Fujin, and they teased Fujin from the trailers to the story mode to the fact that this is based on MK4 to the faction kill with the wind and Cassie Cage fatality where it says where's Fujin? No, Ed Boon's little face it, have you unlocked Fujin yet? How do you unlock Fujin? That's what it was.
Asshole.
So yeah, and then he had to go out on his way to confirm like Fujin's not in the game. So, but so that's my thing too. Like, if you're gonna pick DLC characters, because and also why do we keep making lists for I mean not lists petitions for people like Trimmer just for to be there for one game and not come back? I guess. According to those leaks, that he's not in there.
Well, I don't think it really
But
makes sense for him to be in there. Like, I don't think he really is relevant in any way. So, I
you
mean,
can't make him relevant
you
though,
can, but does
because
anybody
he went to the
really
Dream
care?
Realm. I mean, look at Scarlet.
Yeah,
People want Scarlet back,
yeah.
and that's the thing. You can make that same fight for any character. Serena. If anyone really wants Serena, well, look at another cast. They want her. All right. Does anyone really want Scarlet? Rusk, and a lot of the people too. Here's the thing. I would put no. Okay. I put my money where my mouth is. I would rather. I will take a game without Katana if we can get some of the 3D era characters fleshed out. I'll take one whole game without Katana or any of the people from Edenia if we can get some people fleshed out, even if it's just to kill them off. I'm okay with that. Like you can have your boy Darius come through and just get killed off.
Hey, uncalled for, dude. Watch what you say. Very uncalled for in every single way.
But I think too, don't just. I understand you have to pick. You have to have guest characters. That's just a given now. I think it was Tekken that just put in a guy from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, they had Negan,
Yeah,
the main
yeah.
bad guy.
I
Yeah,
haven't watched it, but my thing is like, okay, we know we're gonna get DLC characters, not DLC guest characters. We already know that. So let's make the actual DLC characters mean something to them. That way they don't seem pissy at us. And again, come to Chicago with pitchforks and um, torches.
yeah,
But
definitely. I mean, like I was. Now that you mentioned guest characters, it came to my mind what I was gonna say. My whole thing was gonna be if there's only gonna be 6 characters, then I hope that means either there's gonna be story elements, that there's gonna be maybe like arenas and stuff like that added to the game, something
mm-hmm.
that's a bit different, or there are no guest characters and all 6 of them are Mortal Kombat characters. Because let's just say maybe 2 of them are guest characters, which means we only get 4 Mortal Kombat characters as DLC, which is, I mean, it's not
Not a
enough for
lot.
me. Yeah.
But if they pack up the roster good enough, then it
Yeah.
would be though.
It really does all depend on how big the main roster is. If it's true as like
Yeah,
what was this 32 or something like that from that leak, then
uh,
4 isn't
I
enough
think
for
so.
me. But if it is like around 40, like some people have been hoping for, then yeah, that's probably enough.
And also the whole story elements can give you a point of view from the other people's stuff, from other people's view.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, a prolonging the
Good
main
guys.
story. Yeah, it could also be a complete side thing. It doesn't have to be, oh, look, this is what happened between Raiden, the Dream Lady. It could be what's going on, I don't know, Kenshi or something like that, just to make an example. Not necessarily Kenshi, but
No,
what's
no, you're
Kenshi
right.
doing with
Kinch,
the Red Dragon? Resolve the
yeah,
Takeda
I
thing.
think we can do that. Like there can be we can wrap these story elements up in the story mode and say like it's how it ended. But we can also put those little clips and things like, all right, so like, we're gonna be time jumping a lot and time quote unquote bending, whatever the hell that is. But we're best with time. So we're gonna do that. So it's like, all right, well we can say, all right, well, I mean, 5 years ago, me, my dad was take out the whole Red Dragon clan. And it doesn't be just the good guys. They can show how go as far as back as why Dagon killed his mother in the first place. Even just give us something to work for. I mean, even if not, and that's where I think where the leak before this, where MK11 actually got announced, where it says the adventure mode, I'd be okay with that and multiple of that to give me something to play. But the thing is, like, how do you? No, that is how you do it. Sorry, I'm talking to myself now. But I was gonna say, like, how do you take both of those? And so, and to mirror how we're talking about what do we like better between the conquest mode of Deception or Armageddon?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if you take the same concept from Armageddon, where you're running around beating people up, just random people, kind of like a Shadow Monks game almost,
Mm-hmm.
but you're doing it,
It's a beat 'em up.
then you get, yeah, but you get to the actual main parts of the story, and you're fighting as you would in actual gameplay.
Okay, I see what you mean there.
So like just like the Armageddon was, like you would go around fighting, do all these little side missions, these missions, and then you'll get to um first I just seen we were just playing like story mode recently. You get to Cobra. It's a small cutscene, two dialogue, and then you go into fighting. Then you end it right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you can do that. That's how I see how it can work. Now, I'm not gonna say that's gonna be easy because that's a lot more engineering you have to put into a game.
It
Just a
definitely is.
thought.
It's just, it's like I said, it's something I would really like them to do. I just don't know how much, you know, like
Can they do it?
it's not
Oh,
necessarily can they do it. I'm sure they can. It's just a matter of is
will.
Warner Brothers going to want to say, okay, listen, you can either do some extra side missions and stuff like that, or you can make a couple more extra guest characters. You can make a few things here and there that are going to make more money for us. That's my thing right there. Is a lot of times, unfortunately, you see this with Dice, with EA, and stuff like that, and they have these companies that are kind of overlords over them, and they kind of force them to do what they want. And one of the things that I give a lot of credit to Ed Boon and NetherRealm Studios is they don't usually just sit there and take it. They don't just sit there and do whatever Warner Brothers says. Of course, they do a lot of what Warner Brothers says, but a lot of times they do things that are based on fan service. A lot of times they do what is better for the player base and not necessarily exactly what would make more money.
Above the dollar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm just wondering, since they gave them an extra year, they're probably going to have more pressure to make some extra money on DLC. So I'm just wondering, like, is that a viable option? Like I said, I would love it to be, and I think that there would definitely be a lot of people that are going to spend some money on getting expansions for story because, like you said, there's so many characters that don't get a lot of screen time in the story mode because there's what let's say a
Four
roster of
fights is not enough
yeah,
for a story to get understanding of a character or story.
definitely not, especially when you figure a roster can have, let's just say, 30 to 35 characters, and it's impossible in a story mode of 15 chapters to have each character and to really explore what they're doing in that game. So it's a good way to tie up some of the things that aren't necessarily like main story. For example, in MKX, the whole, I guess, Cassie killing Shinnok is, of course, the way the main game ends. But there are a ton of stories that aren't really closed up, that aren't really sealed from MKX, that are kind of just left unresolved. So it would definitely be a good idea for them to add extra story elements to really, give us some closure with a lot of these other storylines that are pretty much never really touched. They're kind of mentioned. They either just kind of start and then they're immediately, giving closure, but that's just not satisfying. So I definitely like the idea of getting expansions for the story. I'm just kind of leaning towards it's probably not going to happen. And
Yeah.
one thing though that would kind of favor that being potentially plausible is that NetherRealm Studios, ever since MK9, have kind of been leaders in innovation when it comes to the fighting game community. You saw what I did with the story mode. Ever since that, pretty much everybody's been trying to copy it. Tekken did a shit job. Street Fighter did a pretty poor job. Marvel versus Capcom Infinite did a shit job of it. So NetherRealm Studios,
Dead or Alive is yeah, did a decent job.
yeah,
Just it's all over the place.
I haven't seen anything about that, so I don't know exactly what to say about that. But as you can see, all these fighting games, they're copying it because now that they know NetherRealm Studios absolutely nailed it out of the park. Of course, the story was kind of broken, but the idea behind giving a story mode, it's very popular
Nice.
among fans, especially casuals, because really they're aiming towards casuals. So all these other games need to do that. So if NetherRealm Studios were like, we're gonna be the first in the fighting game community to add in additional storylines that aren't just endings after you beat arcade mode with a new DLC character, but having actual excuse me, storylines outside of the main story that you can play through in a separate story mode with like 3 to 5 chapters each, then that would be very, very interesting. And
Mm.
it would be a market that's completely untouched so far. So it would be a risk, I guess, technically from a bottom line point of view, but the rewards I think are pretty big
Yeah,
because they could be
personally.
once again the innovators that everybody looks at as they introduced a very important feature to this genre of gaming that has already been a mainstay since 2006 basically 2007 when the Xbox 360 came out.
Hmm.
And it's about time for MK for fighting games and I guess MK to really have that type of stuff. So I hope it happens. I'm leaning towards it's not very likely, unfortunately.
Mm. Yeah, but I think like a prime example of someone people who suffer from that. Um, for example, Kung Jin didn't suffer too much because he didn't have much of a story to begin with in the comics or in the main game. And then Takeda, he suffered from that though because someone who has all this story and baggage from the Red Dragon to being Scorpion's apprentice to now being a part of Special Forces and dating Jackie in a way. We have to fit all that in pretty much in 4 chapters.
Yeah, it's just not really fair, especially like not just these new characters, but characters in general. Pretty much everything that
Hmm.
happens to them happens off screen. It's 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 fine because of course it is as short as it is. But wouldn't it be a lot cooler for a lot of these storylines to take place on screen in expansions?
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Either that or spend more money on cinematics to show
Yeah,
everything else.
make it longer. Add an extra
Yeah.
2 hours to it.
I'm okay with that.
I am too. Absolutely. It would give a better storyline because they wouldn't have to compact everything into something so short. They
Two
could fledge it
hours.
out better. Yeah, and
Hmm.
it would give the writers a better chance to really, develop the characters in a way and not really kind of, I'm not gonna say half-ass them, but be limited to certain things.
Some do get half-assed though.
Yeah, Jackie Briggs, for example. I'm just gonna put it out there.
The key, I think, if the kid was not the main character in the comics, he probably would have been a background character.
Absolutely, nobody would know what the fuck he was doing.
Like as much as people love Kenchi, Kenchi's son would have just been that Kenchi's son, like Cassie was.
Yeah.
Because I think Cassie gets so much heat just because of the fact that she beat Shinnok in his most powerful form.
Yeah,
And
I just hope that they do something like that eventually. Maybe even if it's not this game, which I now that you bring it up, you kind of put me in a spot where I'm gonna be kind of disappointed if they don't. But I mean,
I'm sorry.
yeah, it's all right because I'm kind of used to
It needs to
NetherRealm
be done. It needs
Studios.
to be said though. Someone
Yeah,
has to say it.
yep. And yeah, I don't think I've heard anybody else say it. So you heard it here first. You heard it here first. If it happens, you know where they got the idea from. So definitely give us all credit. We accept donations. Yeah.
Um, he lives in Italy. I live in Oklahoma in the U.S. So, and we're not that hard. We're really hard to find, but we will make ourselves known.
Yes, and we are very available for autographs. It's going to be 50 bucks a pop. So yeah, just contact. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, I'm just
Hmm.
kidding. But I definitely think that it would be awesome if they did that. Um, I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about when it comes to DLC and Premium Edition before we head into, I guess since we've mentioned it quite a bit, the MK leaks that have come out?
Mm, no, I think DLC wise, I think that's good, but I think we're pretty much covered on leaks until we really want to talk about why are leaks bad because they're like the most shittiest of things. I'm pretty sure I've made this conclusion before. Excuse me, but
Yeah. See, I'm always kind of torn on this because ever since, and I've only been covering MKs for since this summer, but it's kind of hard because I don't want to give any credit to leaks because I don't like leaks, and we'll cover this like we said in a separate podcast. But I don't like leaks. I don't like giving them the light of day because it could be real, but it could almost
hmm
as it is almost every single
Dynasty.
time. Exactly. As it is in almost every single case, it could be fake. So it's kind of stupid to talk about it, but at the same time, we're covering MK, so it's kind of hard. Like we shouldn't cover it because it's not right, but we also should because it's part of what everybody's talking about with Mortal Kombat. So
Mm,
I don't know. I guess for this one we'll just go ahead and skip the
yeah.
details about the characters that are allegedly going to be in the game, especially because let's just be honest. Like if you have seen the leaks, then you're gonna know what I'm talking about. I've said this before, talking to just between us talking privately. It's very likely that the characters that they mention on the leaks are going to be in the game because it's a very, very, very safe roster. Almost every single
Well,
character
that's
that
the
was
thing.
mentioned in the leak is that they're all fan favorites. They're all mainstays of the series. There's really nobody like really that character. It's just all pretty predictable.
But that's the thing. It's too safe, my eyes.
Yeah, which is what kind of makes it
That's why I
fun.
can also. That's the thing. So it's like it could. That's a smart thing. Like, oh yeah, that's good. But then you have the fact that okay, so you take Kano out, you put his son in. I can see that, but it's like I don't know. It's there's so many things that could be wrong with it. Is wrong with it, but my biggest gripe with leaks is the I call it the Google effect.
Mm-hmm.
So Google had this new thing they were going to release. I'm not sure what it was. Ed Boon tweeted about it to make a joke about it. This was back around E3, right after or right before. But what it was that when like Google's little, I'm pretty sure I told you the story too, but Google did their little pre-show, like their package trailer, and all it was people talking about the leaks, like, oh, you can't hide stuff on the internet no more, guys, blah blah blah. The guy literally walked up, said, well, that's our product. Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's literally all he did.
Thank you, Ed Boon.
Mm. But that's the thing too. Like, imagine people were actually legitimately leaking stuff from Mortal Kombat. Like somebody leaked all the stuff out about the like how people were going to fight and stuff like they did recently. Because we're not going to get on details of that. Just because of the fact that one, it could all be fake and we look stupid. And just now starting out, so I don't think we want to look stupid yet.
No, I already look
We
stupid
do,
enough as it is. I
yeah,
don't need
we
extra
do
help.
that enough. Yeah, we do that enough on our own. But um, what it also means is that Yeah, I mean, the time of day because not only could it be fake, but also because let's say it is real, and they were pretty much empowering those people to think it's okay for. Let's say they leaked everything out, okay? Every character, every special move, every voice actor, just all the little stuff. It comes up to January 17th. Ed gets on stage like, that's the game, and cuts the whole thing short. Like, well, you already know everything because of the leak, so I'm not going to explain nothing now. And of course, he probably won't do that, but
He better not. I'll be pissed.
yeah. So now it's like, and I doubt he would, but it's like that would be the best thing. I would do that. Like, you know what? You guys gonna learn to stop leaking my shit. And also, how are these people who leaked the shit not get fired yet? Which here's my other thing too. Um, in the summertime, I was looking around just for jobs, just to see how do you do something. How do you get at another studios? Now, granted, they do have job openings, so if you guys specialize in that, go for it. But one thing I did read was that it is literally hard for anyone to get fired there because they're like family. That can be either good or bad, take it how you want. But
Hmm.
so I'm pretty sure if they treat you like family, and it's pretty much impossible to fire you, that there's no reason why you should be leaking stuff. So either A, they're leaking it on their own, and say, hey, leak this out, or B, and also they leak that roster out. It kind of pisses me off.
I definitely
But
agree with you there. Leaks are fucking. It's fucked up, and I wish people would, even when they do find some things out, just kind of mind their own business and just keep it to themselves.
I mean, you literally delete your profile afterwards. So not even you get payments off of it. Like maybe if they were actually to do like a Q&A, like, yes, I leaked this. This is how I found out, and make a whole video about it, like face to face. And yes, I'd be more inclined to believe it and take solace in it. But due to the fact that it is literally a guy typing stuff, then deleting the account so he can never answer questions, I don't care. I really don't care. But we can talk about why leaks are stupid later.
Yeah. So what do you say? Should we go ahead and jump into some predictions and what we would like to see in the January 17th event?
I think we're gonna wait for that because I do have to be at work soon.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just go
Yeah,
ahead and end it right here.
let's wrap
Because
up right now.
yeah, 'cause I think that what we could do for that is we can on a separate podcast we could do a whole
Oh yeah,
predictions and what we want to see ourselves on
yeah.
January 17th.
Mhm. One thing I say I want to see. Here's the thing too. Well, one last thing. Here's the thing, ran by Chauncey or Thomas, whatever the hell you want to call me at this point. Um, you do we really believe that there's only be four new characters?
Um, I mean, I kind of do because
But
of the backlash from the combat kids, but I also think there will be more. I'm going to say around 6.
here's the well, that's the thing too. So there's only four new characters. First of all, Combat Kids was a good concept, but it also was dumb because you had their parents still there. And the people who you should have interacted with didn't interact with people. So you have um, Cassie, who we already knew. Cassie, both her parents are there, and everyone thought like, hey, and this is where I think this is where everyone felt stupid at too. They were like, oh, you can't have Johnny Cage and Sonya in there because why would they? You can't kill your own kid. I'm like, well, Sindel does it. I'm like, she just did it. Shao Kahn does it on the tower. So this is not killing your children is nothing new in Mortal Kombat.
Definitely not. I would say like the biggest issue with that was like, okay, Cassie Cage. What's the point of having Cassie Cage in there if you
If
already
both
have the
parents are there.
yeah, you have the cocky part of her, Johnny, and you have the strict special forces part of her, Sonya. Like which one is
And
she
they're
supposed to
both in the game.
replace? Yeah, exactly. It made no sense. They played it really safe, I think, when it
And
comes to
here's the
having
thing
them
too.
both in
This,
the game.
yeah. Well, also, um, that the intro dialogues. First of all, they weren't playing none of them at first, so you never knew what the heck's going on.
Mm.
But when they start playing them, you start putting these little stories in. Well, I start putting stories in my head, and I think also maybe so. There was one, and it's Cassie and Devora, and Cassie seems like not like pretty much a little pissed off that I wasn't expecting you, Devora. And I thought like, oh, maybe she has some legit beef against Devora. Maybe she's part of the reason why Johnny or Sonya is dead or something. And that would have been great, honestly. Think about it. If you had some actual tension and give her a legit villain, like someone's a rival, someone she's like hunting down that's non Kano every game. First, no, give her own Kano. Want to
Yeah,
know the issue is now? The issue is now that if she don't get her own Kano, that is literally Kano's son, apparently.
yeah. I like the idea of the rival. Of course, that's the best way to develop characters in anything, is rivalries and having conflict. As for Kano's son, it doesn't appeal to me that much, but I definitely think she needs a rival because
Hmm.
her just randomly being able to beat Shinnok, I mean, you know, that was kind of fucked up and didn't really do a whole lot for the character in my opinion. But
It actually hurts not.
yeah, it really did, and it kind of hurt the rest of the roster. Like this teenage girl, or not teenage girl, but young girl
Well, the fact
didn't
that they all
really
got
as
their
good.
ass whooped by Sub-Zero earlier that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think that whole Mortal Kombat game took place in a matter of hours.
Yeah,
It's not hours a day.
which kind of means Sub Zero is the strongest character in Mortal Kombat,
Exactly.
which I'm not mad at.
Smart, strongest, and smartest.
Yeah, I'm not mad at technically, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he gets killed by Scorpion no matter what.
yeah, yeah. But whatever. That's just
But
typical NetherRealm fucking up.
that's the thing. Like you can, if they would have built the characters up the right way, and we know they know how. They've done it for the past 25 years. Well, at least the past 25 minus 9. So yeah,
Yeah. We'll see what the hell they come up with. I have faith, but I also am very skeptical, as I feel we have the right to be.
yes.
Absolutely.
9 years of this crap kind of makes you that way. Well, not nine, 7.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
hopefully we can put this all behind us. I'll eat crow if Mortal Kombat is 11 is like the best game they've ever done. I will eat. Literally go pick a crow and eat it and post it on this YouTube channel.
I'm actually like sincerely hoping that happens now, not just
I
because of the
will.
game. Hey, I'm gonna hold you to it. You know that, right?
Yeah. But that's because I won the best for this game, and I will eat crow and say I was wrong. And I'm not a reliable source anymore. I'm not a reliable source. Just my skepticism is well placed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The thing is too, I'm easy. Like I don't care for the gameplay. It's all about that story for me.
Same here. Like I said, story, entertainment, that's the most important thing. And the gameplay being fun. I don't care about balance and stuff like that, to be honest. So I'm pretty simple as well. It's all about the fun for me and the lore.
Mm,
So pretty easy
yeah,
to make me happy as long as you don't fuck everything up with the story, which unfortunately seems to be pretty difficult for them.
yeah. Well, and even if they fuck up the story, give me more story elements, or Make the I go back to that Cassie Cage and Dora thing again. Has so high hopes for that, just for it to get shitted on.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Because
happens.
yeah, it happens a lot.
More than you would hope.
They went through all that just for them to fight. No, here's the thing, because Devorah and Cassie was their two girls to well, was supposed to sell the franchise when it first came out. Like for their roster that everyone got to play with, it was Sub Zero, Scorpion, Ferritor,
Was it
Cassie Cage.
Kodokan too? I think.
Yeah, so it's six of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Cassie and Devorah was like their girls. Like, hey, this is what we are pushing this one now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. I like it. And they pushed the hell out of Cassie in promotions and the comics, and she came up short.
Yeah.
Same with Devorah.
Unfortunately.
But like I said, we do have Sean, or the guy's last name is. He's over the whole story most. That works. It helps a little bit. I'm trying to be honest though, where we call it the short. I wish that leak before that first leak was true about the Reiko and Sing Song coming together for their daily alliance.
Oh yeah. I kind that kind of leads me into what we were talking before recording about the 10 characters that we want to see revealed next,
Hmm.
officially for the game. I don't know if you already have yours kind of in mind. I
No, I don't.
Yeah, if you want, go ahead and you do or no, you don't. You
No,
said
I don't. I
okay. Yeah,
gotta think
yeah.
about it.
Then we'll do that for the next podcast. But
Hmm.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say both Shang Tsung and Reiko are absolutely on my list. I want to see them. I want to see them come back because I think Reiko he gets a lot of shit, but I absolutely believe that there's a lot of potential in that character. A lot of potential because he's
Oh yeah.
Shang Tsung's number one general. He knows so
Shao Kahn,
much.
you mean?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Shao Kahn's general and all that stuff. So he knows what it takes to to invade, so many realms and stuff like that. So I really, really hope that he does come back and make him pretty badass because he was pretty cool in the comics.
Yeah. Well, that's the issue too. The comics, the comics, the comics. If we can come up with a really good reason why he's back in there, I'm okay with it. 'Cause I love Reiko. I saw Reiko on MK Gold. I'm like, I like that guy. I already told you before, I write stuff for more comeback myself, and Reiko is my main character's best friend, pretty much. Just fucked up in the head though,
Yeah.
which we'll go through that eventually. About my dark chambers of Mortal Kombat. That isn't fan fiction. It's not all sexual. Trust, it's not sexual at all. It's just Mortal Kombat. But um, shit. Oh, I can't stop by saying that.
I'm
Oh,
not talking about
but
Reiko.
I don't know now. I don't know where it was, but if because the same guy who wrote the comic is in charge of the story, he might go take. He might say, "All right, well, it kills Reiko off in there, so he's not coming back now. Sorry." That's gonna crush me. That is gonna crush me.
It would also crush me, but that would also mean Havoc is dead, and
That crush me more.
I need Havoc because he's also on my list. Go, I'm leaning towards the comics aren't really canon. I think that certain elements are, but a lot of it isn't. I'm
That was
assuming.
great. When we first heard that, that was great. But again, the guy who wrote the comics is now in charge of the story, so it's all on his say so now.
It worries me. Yes, it definitely worries me. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. You
In
know.
the words of Cole Khan, you wound me, Sean.
Well put. Well put. Even though Kodokan's trash, it's still well put.
Hey, Napoleon was trash, and he makes great quotes all the time too.
That's true.
Well, that's all I got, man. What about you?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say, and that leaves us at about exactly 2 hours. So I think that's a podcast done. That's a podcast done. I think it's
Alrighty.
a pretty solid episode. So, guys, if you enjoyed it, definitely let us know in the comment section down below. If there's anything you want to hear us talk about in the build up of MK11, also let us know, and we'll definitely be sure to talk about it in a future podcast.
We're gonna talk about it regardless.
No doubt.
We have too much time on our hands. Even with
Yes.
this new job I'm about to start soon, I'm still gonna have enough time to talk about what the hell I want to.
And I'm unemployed anyway, so my traveling is done until the end of January, which means I pretty much have nothing to do but talk about Mortal Kombat. So definitely stay tuned to the channel, and we'll let you know anytime a new video comes out on Instagram. I'll have everything all linked in the description down below. Check that out, and yeah, I guess we'll see you in the next video, the next podcast.
All right. Later.